Hello, thank you for coming today. We're going to have another exciting episode dealing with various Google products. Today we're talking about Spaces, more specifically videos for Spaces. So it's not anything mind-shattering or anything really complicated, but there's a number of things that could be done with videos in Spaces, and I think that's what kind of one of the things that separates Spaces from other Google products in a way is that an easy way, relatively easy way, let's just say, to add videos as part of replies. Because if you look at Spaces as a communication platform, collaboration platform for small groups of people with specific subjects, then you can make an argument saying that how is it any different than, for example, communities or Google Plus itself, Google Plus posts. And communities probably be a better choice though. The difference is a little bit subtle, but at the same time pretty potent, because what you can do with Spaces, when you have a community of people, you can usually get notifications if you're posting, if anybody posts to that community and you have notifications turned on, you'll get notified when somebody posts there, which is fine, except for when you have very different types of topics in the same community. You might want to not be notified based on a particular topic, not based on the entire, especially if it's a large community. Then you have all these barrage of notifications coming. If you turn off notifications, then you don't get notified about anything. So nice thing about Spaces is you kind of can think of it as a small community where you can say, I'm going to set up a space for, we'll just use David Amerland as an example. He's got a community for his SEO help book, which has 20 chapters, and we're doing videos for every single chapter. So there's 20 different chapters, 20 different categories in the community. And so this is an example where, for example, tomorrow we're going to be doing an HOA. By the way, everybody's invited to come to that one, dealing with chapter number 9, which is ontologies. Let's say a group of people wanted to discuss ontologies in more detail, and so they want to be notified, they want to post their entries, things like that. You can't do this in the community. I mean, you can certainly go to that particular category and you can make a post, and you can see what other people say. But in terms of getting notified when somebody's posting something to that particular category of that particular community, there's no way to do it. With Spaces, you can. You can actually set up, and that's what I'm going to do for tomorrow. I'm going to set up a space specifically for that category, that step in the book, the ontologies. I'm going to set up a space for that. And that way, anybody who wants to participate in discussing that particular aspect of that community can discuss it here in the same space, and they would get notifications, things like that. So that's where I think one of the easiest way to describe difference between community and the Spaces is the Spaces makes it much more focused and specific if you want it to be. And of course, you can make it specific to anything. And another thing that's interesting and useful is the fact that when you have a space, you can put in text, you can put in images, and you can put in videos. Okay, and the videos, number of videos you can put in is not limited to anything. So remember last time we discussed Spaces, you have the left side that has the item itself that you're talking about, and then on the right side you have the replies, as they call them. And these replies can have both text, photos, and videos as well. And so let me show you some stuff here real quick so you can see what I'm talking about here. So I'm going to bring up my Spaces, and we have a space called feedback and space right here. So we have 2 people here right now. And by the way, the link is in the event. So if you'd like to participate and join this particular space, by all means. Oh, now we have a few more people. I take it back. It was 2, now it's 4. Welcome, Zara and Kristen. And of course, John was already here for a couple of days ago. So let me show you a couple of things here in space. This particular space. We talked before about customizing it. So I have a specific color, I have a background, so you can make things look different if you want to. And just going to the beginning, don't forget that when you put something in space, it sticks it at the very top. So it's reverse chronological order, meaning the latest things that you put in going at the top. So in my case, I wanted to put in a short video, and that wound up being at the very bottom of the list here. And maybe they will change at some point to enable you to reshuffle this thing. Maybe they allow you to pin things. For now, that's how it works. So the first thing I put in winds up being the last thing on the display here. So you just have to work with that. And so what I did was I recorded this particular video using Windows camera tool. Nothing too fancy. And we'll show you in a moment here how to do that. It's very simple. And then I made that to be the main video on the left side here. And then as you can see on the right side, this particular entry, this whole Spaces entry here, has some text, and it says it has 3 replies, and also it has a additional video. So if we click on here to open it, you can see that it's got 1 video here, it's got text, another 2 videos here, and of course I can add as many things as I want. Okay, so let's look at this thing from a standpoint of how to add a video. Okay, so the way you add a video is you can use any program that allows you to record videos. And in my case, I'm using just standard Windows 10 camera app. So I'm going to click on camera, and hopefully when I'm Hangout, it will still let me do it. Let's see if it works. I'm going to go ahead and record a short video by clicking on, let me put it here so you guys can see it. There we go. So you can see me, I can see this, and I'm going to click on the video icon here, and I'm going to look in the camera, and I'm going to click on record here like this. I'm going to record a few words just so we have something in there, and I'm going to click on stop, and I'm going to go ahead and close out of here. And what it does, it puts the videos into, by default, into a folder called camera roll. And the camera roll is located under pictures. So as you can see here at the top, I got under this PC pictures folder called camera roll, and the videos are named with when, date, and I think it puts time. Yeah, it looks like it puts time. So it puts all these things in there so you can easily tell which one is which. In my case, it's the 20th day, so it's this one. And so one thing to caution you on is if I simply try to click here saying I'm going to add something, and I'm going to, let me see if I can do this here. If I drag the video here, notice that it shows me a little plus copy icon underneath the drag box there. And what it means that I will not insert anything in here. What I'm going to do is simply show the video in this window. And so it's going to change the tab from, well, I'll just show you. I'll let it go. You'll see. All it's doing is just dropping the video in there and playing it. Okay? Which is not what we wanted to see. What we wanted to see, so I'm going to click back on the browser to go back to where I was. So that's not how you add a video to it. If you click on add something here or say something, it allows you to put in text, and you can put in a link, and you can put in an image, and you can put in these stickers. As you can see, there is no option to add a video at this point in time. Okay? Even if I close this right now, and even if I wanted to add video here, for example, I have the same problem. I don't have any way on the left side to easily add a video. It just lets me put in a link or a photo, or you can, I can write longer text basically in there, just text. So how do you add a video? Well, the way you add a video is by simply using the camera, the post a photo, they call it, which is just a little icon like you normally use with photos. And if you click on that, then it's going to give you a display of all your photos, and notice that videos are part of it. Okay, so you want to make sure your video is recorded, my recommendation is recorded in MP4 format, which is standard QuickTime, so it works both on Mac and Windows. And then when you record it, and that's exactly what, by the way, the camera app from the Windows that I was using, that's what it records in. So if I click, for example, on one of the videos I recorded and insert that particular video, then I can add some text to it. new video example. And you can put whatever text you want. You don't have to. And you click on send here, or post, whatever you want to call this particular button, and it drops it in there. And now, as you can see, I have the video on the left side as a new entry. And if I click play, it's going to open it up and let me play it in a separate window. And there's the video. Now you can see what my office looks like. Okay, slick, no? Pretty slick. Okay, now let's close that, and let's, so that's pretty simple. Again, you use the insert photo to actually drop a video in there. Okay, now let's say that we go back again. Let's say that the video was not part of your, notice that I recorded my own video and you don't see it here. It hasn't put into Google Photos yet. So but I know I recorded, it just hasn't synced yet. So if I click on upload photo instead, then what I can do is I can find my camera roll. So I click on camera roll, and when I click on camera roll, it says no items match your search. Why is that? The reason is because it's only looking at image files, and we happen to have a video file. So all you have to do is just simply drop down on the right here to all files, and now all these files are visible. And that is the one that I just recorded earlier. Click on open, and now that video is being input. I can add some more text. Of course, if the video is longer, then it'll take a little longer to load. So if you click on post immediately, it's actually going to give you an error saying it can't post yet. So that's okay. Just give it some time until that play button comes up. Once the play button comes up, then you're good to go. So now if we click on this thing and play it, notice it shows it very small, relatively small anyway. So that's what I just recorded, right? And you can see it's kind of smallish, but it's there, and plays back. The good news is you can have this big expand button, full screen button. If you click on it, this recording is at 1080 resolution, and then you can see the quality is very good. You can go full screen, and it's going to look excellent if you have a decent camera. So it's not dinky normally. It can be full screen if you want it to be. Okay, so that's pretty convenient, pretty useful. Another way how you can do it is by utilizing your cell phone. So let me show you this real quick. I'm going to jump out of the screen share here, go back, and I'm going to simply go to my phone. Let me see if we can do this so you can actually see this thing. And so it's really simple. It's nothing complex here either. You click on the whatever photo app you're using. Doesn't matter which one you're using. Okay, and in my case, I'm going to be, for some reason Google Photo app is having a little difficulty here. 1 second. Okay, we'll see. My LG G3 needs to be replaced. But he already knew that if you read my posts. Let's just see if we can come out of this thing. Let's try this one more time. So we go to the phone app, and for whatever reason, it doesn't want to boot up. It's really strange. 1 second. Because unfortunately, LG's system just died. Whatever that means. Okay, we'll give it a few more minutes before it does it. What I wanted to say here is that what you can do is you can record a video using whatever app you usually use that does actually work on your phone. And then, as you know, with practically any app, you can take whatever you record, whether it's image or video, and then you can share it to Google+, you can share it to Facebook, to Twitter, anywhere. So what you do is you simply indicate that you want to share that video to a Google space, and then you indicate which Google space you want to share it to, and magically, that's exactly where it's going to wind up. So what I'm going to do here, we have video back. Okay, so now it's working. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to record a little video, so you can see that. Record the video. Unfortunately, camera has stopped. What is with this thing today? Try it again. There we go. So now we're recording the video. Yeah, recording. It's recording the backside of the video, which is fine. And I'm going to go ahead and stop that. And now that it's done, basically I don't really need to do anything else. So really I can just get out. And if I go to my photos, then I should be able to see this particular video here. And you can see it's right there. So that's cool. And of course I have my share button. So I click on share, and under the share here, as you can see, I got myriad of different options just like you do. And one of the options is Google Spaces. So I'm going to click on Spaces. I'm going to click on actual size. And then I'm going to click on video feedback, the current space we're talking about. Okay. And there it is. And so this will say this is from phone. Then click post. And it says it's posting. Trying to get you so you can see it's doing it. Okay, and that's basically it. So now if we, you can see there's an entry there called from post from phone. And if I refresh the screen here, let me go ahead and pull it up on the desktop for you. You can see right there, it says this is from phone, right? And if I click on play here, as you can imagine, it's going to play the video. It's vertical, as you can see, because I recorded on the phone, but it's going to go ahead and play the video. So it's as easy as that to simply record the video using the camera app on the Windows, or if you're using a Mac, you can use, I'm sure, iMovie or whatever software you use on the Mac to record videos, or you record it on your phone or on your tablet, doesn't really matter, and then you simply share it directly to the particular space, and that's it. I mean, it's as simple as that, and then you have your video. Of course, one of the things that we want to be able to do is not just record videos for the left side, we also want to record videos to post in the right side or in the replies area. How do you do that? Well, theoretically, you can do the same thing in terms of recording. I mean, the process works the same way. The problem is, if you remember, when I said I wanted to share it, it actually asked me for which particular space I wanted to share it with, but it did not ask me to put it in replies. It just automatically plops it as a brand new entry in that particular space. So I have all these videos here, and they were all done on the left side. But what happens if we want to put a reply of some sort to this phone video? Well, the way you do that is a couple of different ways. One thing you can do is you can get a YouTube video. So if you go to YouTube and find any video you wish, doesn't matter which one, Hour with Mark Hamill, Star Wars Celebration, that's good enough. So we'll grab this Mark Hamill's deal here, and then we're going to go back to our space. And here, all I have to do is simply click on the link where it says add a link, and I post the video here. I mean, the URL that I just copied from YouTube, and that's it. That's all I had to do. And now the video is posted on the right side, which is one of the replies. So this is my text I put in. I can put in more text here. Okay, so now I have another piece of text going, and it puts it in the order of the way you enter them. It just keeps going down, basically. Now, if I wanted to add an image, I click on the photos, and I can actually grab one of the photos, and it's going to drop a photo of mine right in there too. And you can do this all day long. You can add as many things as you want. So we have this main video. And by the way, for any of you people who are maybe in education industry, it's a wonderful way to set up a space for kids to learn, or adults, it doesn't have to be kids, where you have some sort of message for people up here in the on the left side, main video, where you're describing what you want them to do, and you might have some text to go with it. And then on the right side, you have a bunch of little snippet videos that go step by step, describing a particular process or a number of different things. Like one of the things I was thinking, another possibility I talked about before about resorts. Let's say you wanted to have a video showing how to use a a microwave, how to use a coffee maker, how to use the grill. So you can record short little videos, put them on the right side here. On the left side, you have a nice little personal introduction to the people who stay, that, you know, we have all these amenities, blah, blah, blah. And if you want to see how to use the coffee maker, please click on the coffee maker video below. And here, of course, you have a text that says, you know, how to make coffee using our coffee maker. And then they push play, and that's it. One of the nice things about doing this using the YouTube approach, which is different, by the way, than regular video approach, is you can play the YouTube video directly in here without going to a different player, to a separate player. See, I'm still staying on the same screen, and, you know, here it is right there, okay? The cool thing about it, in addition to that, probably something you may or may have not seen yet, is ability to click on this left side video, which of course will open up in its own window and allow you to play it. But look what's happening on the right. It still retains all the replies on the right side at the same time. So you can actually play the video here. You know, it'll play it like this, but you still have access to all this information on the right, which is really slick. Okay, and if I wanted to play at any point in time, if I stop this one, and if I want to play Mark's video here, there it is right there, fairly smallish, but still certainly legible, and it's on the same screen. So if you imagine it for both business purposes, training purposes, education purposes, just about any purpose you can imagine, you can have any combination of these things where you have an image on the left or video on the left, or even just some text description, and then you have a bunch of videos and images and text to go on the right. Very powerful. If you think about it, a lot of possibilities there, having this multiple entries capability on the very same screen. Okay. One thing I want to caution you, though, is it makes a difference if you record the video from YouTube and post it here like I did, or if you record the video from the computer and post it here this way. Let me show you what happens. If I go ahead and I record a video here from the computer, I'm going to click on this. By the way, let me show you another little trick. If I go back to my videos here, if I want to drop the video recorded, I can actually just simply drag it. Maybe not. 1 second. I thought you could. There's one possibility where you could drag it. No, maybe not. Okay, there is a way to do it, but not on this one. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and click on upload. I'm going to go ahead and select my video to upload. Oops, that's not what I wanted to do. Upload the photo. Go to camera roll. Select all files and the video you want. And there it is at the bottom. Okay, so it's uploaded right there. Okay, so look what happens now. If I actually click on play, if I click on play on Mark Hamill here, look, uses the force, so he can be in the same thing here, right there, right? But if I click on this video here, it's actually going to drop me in a totally separate screen, and it's going to show it to me in this size. And yes, I can play it, but it's going to play it like this. Okay, so the other elements of that particular space are not visible. So the moral of the story is very simple. If you want to be able to see multiple videos and be able to play any of them directly where you actually are sitting, the only way to do it is if you drop them in as YouTube videos shares, not your own recorded videos from your computer, but coming from YouTube. Of course, to record on YouTube is a little bit more hassle, because the old option they used to have to directly record from your webcam is no longer available since January of this year, I believe, on YouTube. So you need to record it separately, then you need to go upload it to YouTube. You need to obviously set it to be either unlisted or private if you don't want anybody else to see it. So there's a little bit of hassle involved in getting videos of your own over here through YouTube. You know, it's a little bit more hassle. Then you just drop it in as a link. So it's easier to record it using direct approach like I showed you. You just simply record a video and then you drop it in here. And if you record it on your phone and drop it in as I showed you, it does clearly puts it in there. Where did they put it? They put it from the phone. This one right here. It did stick it in here, but it does have this one caveat that if you open it up, it's not going to open up in the same frame, so to speak. It'll open up in two ones. And one of the cool things that I'll show you that you can do with this ability to have both videos at the same time is somewhere in here. I think it's this one. I dropped this thing in here, which is the video I did with David Amerland a while back. And you can hear a little bit that I'm talking and this video is coming in. I just dropped in this YouTube video here, and you can see the video we're currently playing doesn't have any sound. It's just audio only with me and David talking and David laughing. But if I wanted to add some sound to it, I just click on this button on the right here. Okay, so the point here is that normally you would not do this where you have multiple videos fighting for sound. You know, one video talking, the other video talking, and it doesn't make any sense. Where it does make sense is what you could do is potentially set up multiple audio tracks. If you think of it, in other words, it's a way for you to split up video and audio. Okay, so what you can do is you can record your video, which could be nothing more than some sort of a slideshow or a Google Slides presentation, and you recorded it. Okay, Kristen is playing around here, and you recorded it, let's say, as a video. You know, it's a slide presentation, but it recorded as a video, and you don't really have any audio to go with it. It just has text screens, it has images, and that's it. It has some illustrations, diagrams, maybe things like that, graphics, but it doesn't have any audio. So what you could do is you could set up a space like this where you would have that on the left side, and on the right side you can have one or more audio tracks by simply having either your own recordings or somebody else's recordings with audio. It may be playing at half volume, because in this little interface, as you can see, you can't change the volume. You can only make it full screen or go to YouTube or play or stop. So if you make it like half volume, then, well, volume is irrelevant if the left video doesn't have any sound. But if you have actual narration, then you might want to keep the volume of the musical part down so it doesn't interfere. But the bottom line being is you're able then to have a situation where you have this presentation with either one or more audio tracks to go with it, but those audio tracks to be totally controlled by the users who actually view the presentation. So if before you didn't have any choices, you either record a video with audio track on it with some sort of music that some people may or may not like, now you can actually put it into space and share it with people that way, and that way they can watch it without any music or any sound track. Or you give them a choice of, I don't know, funk and new age and spa type environment music, you know, something varied, and people can listen with the music track as the back end. And so if you're doing a training video or something like that where you have a presentation that runs for an hour and people are falling asleep, basically, you can use, you know, this approach to have people put their own soundtracks potentially, and to play along with the presentation to kind of keep them awake. It's just a thought. I mean, I'm not saying you have to do it. It's just cool that you can actually do this and play things at the same time. Or if you have a bunch of images and, you know, you have audio to go with them on the right side. Totally up to you how you use the right side if you want to use it for. Plus, of course, videos themselves. I mean, in this case, I put in this instrumental, but you could have instrumental visual as well. I think I have another space here where somewhere in here where I put in, yeah, there's the one with the Beatles. And so, okay, if I don't click on it, if I just go right to this here. So again, if I go inside of it, I can see the video on the left and everything on the right. And here I can play this one. And I can play this one at the same time. And of course, I don't have to play either or. And over here, if I wanted to watch it full screen, I can watch it full screen. And there's John and Paul. and some lady who nobody knows. Anyway, I'm sure you get the idea. So again, the bottom line is you can drop in videos from the desktop using whatever program you have to record videos, and you simply use the add photos icon to put them in there, either on the left side or on the right side. And you can also, if you go through all the multiple steps involved to create YouTube videos, then you can also drop YouTube videos here, which will enable you to play the video directly on the same screen you're on without jumping in a separate viewer. So you can control where they play essentially by using that approach, either or. Okay, so that's how you basically do the videos. It's not more complicated than that. The only other thing I was going to say that if you do the, let me just show you one more thing. If we go to the phone thing again, and on the phone, if I do this icon at the bottom that says share it to spaces, or I go through my share and then it to spaces, then what's going to happen is going to drop it again on the left. So on the mobile side, what you want to do if you want to put it on the right side here is if I go, let's say, inside this particular entry here, and here's something John has created, I can click on the well, on this I can click on the camera icon, and let's see how that works. And I can also record the video by clicking on the, yeah, see, camera icon is only for photos, so forget that. You can't use that. So camera icon within the Google Space interface is not going to give you video access. So you have to click on, you have to record the video first, and then you click on the photos, and then when you go to your photos, you can see that there is, videos in there along with the photos. And so you click on whichever video you want, and then you click on this little post thing, and that's going to drop it into the video. I mean, the video into the post itself. And now if I go back here, there is the video right there. If I click on play, it says it can't play this video. The reason it says that is because it has to process it first. So when you take a video, if you post it directly into the phone thing, like I just did, then it takes a little bit of time to process it. So you need to wait. It will play later. It just tells you it can't play, but it will play later. You just need to give it a little bit of time. And essentially, that's it. That's how you get it on the right side. You get into the replies is just by going into replies and then clicking on the photos icon and then selecting the video from your photos, and you're doing it that way. And of course, if you just want to record a video and then select share by going to your Photos app, picking any video you want, and then clicking on share and selecting space, that's going to drop it as a very new option. As a new option on the left side there. So share, spaces, video feedback, and that's it. It becomes a new entry there. And we drop it in here, and there it is right there at the very top. See right there. And because it's so short, process pretty quickly. That's it. Okay, so this is all I wanted to cover today. Just wanted to show you that you can introduce videos from both your computer and the mobile phone. Doesn't matter which one you use. Mobile phone sometimes makes it a little bit easier because you're just dealing directly with the share capability. The desktop is a little bit more involved sometimes if you want to use the YouTube approach. If you want to be able to play them directly on the same screen, then I'd recommend you go through YouTube. And once you play with it a little bit, you can see it's a little bit weird, but at the same time, it's not so bad. And then you can have all kinds of videos to go to with your spaces. And spaces is definitely, I'm going to be using spaces in every single one of my Hangouts that I do from now on. including this one, so people can put their questions, their comments. If they want to add their own videos, they can add their own like feedback reply type videos. And I think it could be used for business purposes. You could easily use it as a way to give your customers feedback, that they can record a short video on their phone and then share it directly to the space. And you can see that. You just need to be careful. One of the big problems with spaces right now, it's a wonderful feature, and at the same time it's a problem. That is inability to control who accesses the space, except for anybody you give the link is able to access it. So it's wonderful in terms of ease of it, because I can send this link out into the public space there, and everybody and their brother can instantly join and participate, which is wonderful. Sometimes you want to do it, but if I wanted to only be able to share this with just a few people, I can give just those people a link, and they can do everything they want at that point in time. But if I wanted to limit them and how much they can do to what they can do, I don't have any ability to limit that right now. And hopefully Google is working on that, because on one hand, the ease of it is phenomenal. On the other hand, if you start getting even semi-decent number of people, you wind up getting in a situation where it becomes a chaotic mess, because everybody wants to put in their little, their little stamp, or they want to say a few words here and there, and it just becomes a deal where people just kind of, roll their eyes, shrug, and leave, because they just don't want to deal with all of that. And if you add to it the whole thing with notifications and everything, so it's wonderful in terms of easy, but at the same time, there's not enough controls yet to make it really meaningful. But if you're dealing with small numbers of people that you trust, but both in personal setting or business setting, I think it's a phenomenal tool to be able to really concentrate on certain segments of whatever it is you want to concentrate on with certain segment of people, and have a conversation, rich with media such as videos and photos and text, and it's phenomenal from that standpoint. Also, for those who didn't listen to my original prior, I should say, HOA and Spaces, don't forget that you can easily put in links linking directly to both, basically linking directly to, for example, Google Keep. So you're able to create a Google Keep entry, and then of course you can also use reminders on Google Keep to be able to be notified when something needs to happen, because Spaces don't have any kind of reminders in terms of doing something. But you can easily do this with cross-linking a note, Google Keep note, with Google Space, and thus being able to easily have the reminders that come up on your phone and come up on your desktop. So that's pretty cool that you can do that. And then one last thing I'm going to mention is that, like a little tip, has nothing to do with Spaces. Just thinking this morning about this, is you're able to put in, you've always been able to go into Google Calendar and enter some sort of event as a reminder to yourself. So it's not really an event that anybody meets. It's just a way to remind yourself. And this reminder comes up, then you can do something about it. The problem with this approach is that if you don't do anything, then that reminder goes away and you never get reminded again that you still have this thing pending. So my recommendation now that we have true reminders, instead of using event with the reminder date and time, instead use a reminder in the calendar to do the same thing, essentially. So what you do is you just create a reminder, okay, not an event, but just a reminder, and then you indicate date, time if you want for it, whenever you want to do it. The beauty there is if you do not click on done for that particular reminder, it's going to continue to nag you until you actually click on done. And so that makes it, I think, much more useful in terms of actually specifically saying, I'm done with this particular item, and not just brushing it off saying, well, I'll do it later today, and then you totally forget, and next thing you know, nothing is reminding you. So it's essentially the same thing. You're not taking any more or less time, but it's much more proactive in terms of keeping you honest, if you will. With that, I thank you for coming today. I hope this was useful, and I'm looking forward to seeing your entries on my Spaces, and hopefully you're using Spaces as well. Till next time, take care.